before the heavens declared the glory of God. He was here. He's eternal, self-sufficient, all-powerful, all-knowing, omnipresent. He's not trapped in time like we are. You pull out your watch or phone and say, oh, it's almost time to go eat lunch. No, that's not God. Time does not rule our God. Time rules us because we're born in time. But he's eternal. Eternal, before time, outside time. Now God created time, he created space, and he created substance. You and I don't create much of anything except what God already provided that we might create something with. And if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't do anything. God, who spoke into existence in Genesis 1 and 2, he spoke in creation. But something happened after creation. God looked, and on the seventh day he rested and he said, this is good. It was perfect. And God made man. His name was Adam. And Adam walked with God. And Adam, with his full functional brain that you and I don't have, named all the animals. Gave everything name. I don't know how he did it, just spit it out. You know, that's a cow, that's a giraffe, that's an elephant, that's on and on and on. And then when all the animals had their pairs there, one like them, God in his goodness looks around and sees Adam, he's just alone. Adam is not an animal. And so then he made man out of the dust of the earth and breathed life, the spirit into him. And Adam got up. But after Adam, God put him back to sleep. And he took part of Adam, a rib it says, and gentlemen, we're not missing any ribs, but he took Adam's rib and he created woman, a helpmate, two that he brought together, man and woman, to guard and take care of the world. And so he did that after creation, but then temptation came. Everybody knows what temptation is, whether you recognize it or not. Temptation is at the greatest pinnacle of height today, probably in all of history. Temptation. You can't get away from it. And so what happened in the second, and moving into the third chapter, one of God's high exalted angels who rebelled against the living God that he himself created, he came to Eve, the wife of Adam. And it's quite interesting because Adam was told you could eat of all the fruit of the garden. Eve was told you could eat all the fruit of the garden except the tree that's in the midst of the garden. Right? They knew where that tree was and what it was. No question. But Satan comes to Eve and questions that, did God really say? Has God indeed said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Has God, young people say that you should not look at this on social media, on your iPhone, on your computer? And you say, well, God hadn't said that to me. Oh, yes, he has. He's given you a conscience. And so your heart is disturbed within. You know, I should not read this. I should not look at this. I should not do this. I should not smoke this. I should not drink this. I should not get into some kind of physical activity with someone. But yet you still do it. That's what Eve did. Did God really say? And the woman said to the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God said, you shall not eat. You shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, Sometimes we skip that word touch. I can say to the young gentleman here, keep your hands off the lovely young lady till she's your wife. And vice versa. But in America, the #1 exporting country of pornography, movies, films, and internet, and the dark web is the United States of America. And we've been corrupting the world for many generations now. But see, we're so blessed. Look, we are blessed. Thank God. But the same one and his co-workers with Satan are out there tempting like never before in history. But not only that, you see, when Eve ate of the fruit, who was standing nearby? But her husband, Adam.